Hello and welcome to today's video. In this video I would like to talk about toxic positivity, which is one of the phenomena, or let's call it situations that we are confronted with very often in infertility. And it's very often confused with optimism, but that is not the same thing, as we are going to see. In the first part of the video I'm going to explain what toxic positivity is, and in the second part I'm going to show a few strategies how it's easy to deal with it, or how you can switch your inner setup basically to a more healthy way of thinking. So toxic positivity is something that we are confronted with either from outside by people giving us unsolicited advice, or it can be a concept of mind that we make up ourselves. So this would mean that there is no negativity allowed. Toxic positivity means that positivity is the only way, that there has to be a positive effect of things, and there's absolutely no possibility that things go wrong. Also, it really suppresses any kind of negative feelings, because you keep telling yourself, I can only think positive, or I have to think positive to get a certain outcome. So negative feelings are either ignored or put aside. That also accounts for negative side effects. Let's say someone has medical limitations for getting pregnant. So just ignoring them or denying them would also mean that it's a toxic positivity, by not acknowledging that there are some other effects. By always sticking to this positive attitude, or sort of over positive attitude, all that is created is stress, which is eventually released in another situation where you don't expect it, or expect it the least. And last but not least, things like getting pregnant are not related to any kind of mindset. So it's not possible to change your mindset in such a way that this would guarantee a successful pregnancy. So people telling you just stay positive, in the end they're going to stress you more than they actually help you. So toxic positivity is a very common phenomenon among infertility, and it becomes very bizarre when people who've been trying to conceive for, let's say, 8 years are told just be positive, because this just is simply impossible to just sort of eliminate in that one sentence. So let's move on to the second part. I would like to show you some strategies how you can deconstruct somehow the toxic positivity and come to a more realistic way of thinking. So optimism, first of all, is not something wrong. Optimism still contains some part of reality. So optimistic thinking is very much okay if you generally have a positive attitude towards life in general, even though there might also be some negative aspects to it which you do not ignore. But you can sort of count on a little bit more on the positive parts. This is very much okay. This, on the other hand, also means that difficulties are addressed. So let's say you have medical issues that are either known or not known to you, but they influence somehow the probability of a pregnancy. So I think being transparent and really looking at those things and trying to get the probabilities in order will only help you in that situation. So from the very beginning, you have a realistic approach, and you know what you could expect and what you cannot expect. This can be very helpful. Also make sure that you emphasize on your strength. You can always say, I'm very proud that I have the strength to go that way, or to follow this procedure. Or I'm very happy to have the right partner on my side who supports me for this journey. So by pointing out strengths, this can give a bit more weight to the positive side without completely denying the negative side. Also, you are being acknowledged as a person as a whole. So there's not only the ability or non-ability to get pregnant that make you a person, there's many other things as well. And I'm sure that there are a lot of positive qualities that you have as a person. So this kind of diminishes a little bit this problematic field of getting pregnant without completely denying it. The next point is share your sorrow, your thoughts, your concerns. I often make the experience that the more we keep things for us, especially in our surrounding, we pretend to have the perfect life, we don't share things, this raises a lot of stress. So try to at least share your concerns with your closest family members or even only with your partner, but this will help you to reflect on them a bit more and group them into smaller packages. So treating one package after the other is much easier than loading a huge backpack that is too heavy to be carried by one person. So sort of decomposing the whole problem into small parts makes it more visible and easier to deal with. The next point is stay realistic. Even if the glossy catalogs of fertility clinics are sometimes very tempting, try to really stay at the realistic perspective from the very beginning. This makes it easier to deal with negative results at the later stage in case they occur. So that just means by saying, okay, we're going down this road, we have a chance of X%, but we also acknowledge that there's another side of a non-success chance of another percentage. Last but not least, the most important thing in my opinion is to also accept bad moments. You will have challenging situations and it's perfectly okay to feel bad, to feel angry or to feel sad at some point. And please allow that there is space for these feelings as well. Because the more you do, the more you give your soul the ability to process those experiences and find sort of a final place where to store them in the end. Whereas if we are just running through things and trying to see the positive effects of everything, this is only causing stress. So give space to negative feelings. It's really okay to have a bad day or even 2 or 3, but after that your mind will be more clear to start again and to go on. So I hope I could give you some inspiration on how to deal with toxic positivity, and everything will be fine in the end, or just stay positive, are just 2 examples of how we receive unsolicited advice. Feel free to share your experience in the comments, and in case you wish to go a bit further into this topic on a personal basis, feel free to reach out to me and I'd be happy to follow you along your way. Thank you very much for watching and see you the next time.